Nobody's above the law. I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son. He didn't believe that, but he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have to say anything. Oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm better than Trump. Because they're always trying to run, or they're always trying to say, oh, they're the moral high ground. They're more superior than Republicans. And then when you find out that, Democrats, Republicans, they're on the actual same level. One is not actually better than the other. Everyone's always surprised on the Democrat side.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay. Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Let's talk about Joe Biden pardoning his son. And to be honest, before I say anything, I will pardon my son too. I'm not gonna lie, I would do the same thing. But you know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't try to take the moral high ground and act I'm so much better than my opponent and say, oh, I would never do such a thing, and then end up doing it. I'll be like, I would say no comment or just like laugh it off or walk away like something like that. But don't you find it funny how all of the liberal media just switches on a dime from, oh, Biden's so much better, he would never do such a thing, only Trump would abuse a pardon, to now they're defending it? Check this out.
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with Biden pardoning his son. He should have pardoned him. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like, pardon more.
I feel like the reason that Joy Reid's hair went from that length to having like the Donald Trump comb over to having shorter hair than me is because all the hatred and racism she has towards white people and stuff like that just seeped out her head and made her lose her hair. I'm just saying, man, I could be wrong. This is just a joke, so calm down now. But like, come on now, how y'all switch so fast and they do it on clockwork? It's like a memo goes out to all liberal media and they say, oh, we're saying this now. And they're like, oh, pardon, Joe Biden is doing a pardon. It's a good thing. Nobody's above the law, but Joe Biden doing that is still a good thing. I find it funny how daggone KJP gotta keep up with these lies. Like, she must be like going through things. I feel like that's a wig at this time. If she's like Joy Reid, that gotta be a wig on her head, because ain't no way you keeping with these lies, trying to go back and forth with these reporters, but they on your neck, and you're just like, dang, I don't really got to answer for that one. I'm just gonna skip over it. Like, at some point, I'm like, that job gotta be some type of stressful, especially having to lie all the time for when he does something and then he says something and he does the opposite. Like, check out KJP right quick.
Next time that the president says he will or won't do something, why should the American people believe him?
I answered that question. I don't have anything else to add. I answered the question.
Can you explain it in a way that's understandable?
I can't speak to you understanding the question or not, or my answer or not on this. I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to relitigate this. I did that on Monday for 30 minutes. I went back and forth. I laid out. I said, please read the president's really comprehensive statement on this. And I even said the last paragraph of that statement, he talks directly to the American people. And that's how I answered that question.
Can you acknowledge that it may have been a mistake by the president, you, to say multiple times unequivocally that he would not pardon his son?
The president laid out in that statement what changed, why his mind changed, how he wrestled with this decision. The president laid that out. I don't have anything else to add.
I know her trying to keep up with those lies gotta be difficult. I know she's on edge for trying to keep up with those lies. I know, she's like, oh my goodness, what do I say now? I'm trying to call her people from CNN, MSNBC, like, oh, what's the plan? What are we gonna say for this one? Because, like, come on, we could obviously tell you're BSing us. But you know what's crazy? When you have to hand out a preemptive pardon, that makes it look like you did something, we just didn't know what it is. They're gonna do a blanket pardon preemptively, and then but they're not gonna say what specifically. That sounds like, oh, they did something. They're definitely guilty of something, but we're not gonna say what it is. And y'all let me know if that don't sound shady.
Do you think preemptive pardons are necessary for people like yourself, other folks that Dr. Anthony Fauci, Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, I mean, that could be targeted by a Kash Patel-led FBI?
I mean, it's certainly something to consider. I guess my question is, I have not done anything wrong. I know that. And I know that many of us who have just spoken the truth, all we're doing is speaking the truth. But in today's environment, in terms of what's to come under the Trump administration, I think that's something that we're all thinking about and wondering what's to come. And I think I am a prime example of what's to come when I've already gotten a threatening letter by someone like Kash Patel, who we know is a loyalist and a henchman for Donald Trump.
All right.
She said that he sent a letter going after her. Wasn't it like a letter to stop defaming him and stuff like that? I'm just saying, I'm not no expert on Genius, but I'm pretty sure that letter was like, because you was defaming him on the news, so he sent you a letter. Not, oh, I'm gonna get you letter. But like, if you're saying you're not guilty and you didn't do nothing, why do you say, no, I don't need a pardon? I'm just saying, if you didn't do anything, just say, I don't need no pardon. I'm good. But someone who shouldn't get a pardon, Anthony Fauci. I feel like I'm going to make another video to go more in detail why I believe that, but he shouldn't get no pardon. I'm going to just be honest, bro. I don't know what he did, but I'm pretty sure he did something. I'm just going to be honest. I don't trust that guy. I don't trust the whole, him saying, I am the science. That sounds like you do, like, that sounds like a religion to me where you say, oh, yeah, believe me, because don't, like, instead of saying trust the science, say I am the science. That sounds like some weird religion, weird cult to me. And I already believe the Democratic Party is no longer a political party. It's just a pseudo religion or something like that, to be for basically. But let's continue on about The View, because this one is like some of the most egregious one. Like, they say, oh, he didn't lie when he blatantly did. And then Leonard have to call her out on, yeah, he lied or something like that. And then let's just check it out. Let me
ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, etc., as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him, that's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have to say anything, oh, I'm not going to do it, I'm better than Trump. Because they're always trying to run, or they're always trying to say, oh, they're the moral high ground, they're more superior than Republicans. And then when you find out that, Democrats, Republicans, they're on the actual same level. One is not actually better than the other. Everyone's always surprised on the Democrat side. When we're like, hey, yo, we'll call out our side. The more conservatives willing to call a Republican leader than Democrats are. If Democrats do something wrong, they will all try to say, oh, it's good, actually. First, Republican was like, ooh, we didn't like that, and we'll actually criticize it. But no, y'all don't believe we do, though. But we actually do. That's why Trump, he put that police chief that was arresting a priest, and he took him out because people were complaining about it. That's why I like the Republican side better.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. Listen, they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying.
Whoopi really try to say that he wasn't lying. Like, you see the mental gymnastics you gotta do to be a daggone Democrat. and then she try to justify his lie. I'm like, yo, when Trump do stuff I don't agree with, I'm like, I kind of don't agree with that. There's like plenty of stuff I don't agree with that all Republicans do. I just don't agree with it. And I'm going to admit it, but I'm not going to justify something they clearly do is wrong. And they're going to try to act like, oh, Trump is going to go after them with the courts. And then they can't see why that the Republican Party believed that Biden was going after Trump with the courts when Fani Willis and daggone, who's the one in daggone, New York, Letitia James, when they were both going to the White House to meet, and they're meeting with daggone the other one that was it wasn't a prosecutor, it was I forgot what his name was, but he was the one that was doing the daggone documented case in Florida. They were all meeting and stuff like that, and they were talking, but we can't say, oh, they're trying to lock up the political opponent. They're trying to bankrupt the political opponent. We can't say that when we got like actual evidence of them doing that. Like, I'm the crazy person for saying that. Yeah, make that make sense. Because the mental gymnastics you gotta do to be a daggone Democrat is crazy.
He don't have to do that.
We're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh, no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're
mad.
No.
If I can get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions and the impartiality of the Department of Justice.
Yes.
Democrats ran on that. The same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. We shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does. But then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
I found it funny. Trump was saying, "Oh, the DOJ is corrupt. Oh, they're corrupt. They're coming after the political opponent." And then and all the Democrats like, "That's some BS. You're crazy." Blah blah blah. Joe Biden even said a couple things. Oh, but your own DOJ goes after your son, and you're like, "Oh, now they're corrupt." And I'm like, the only reason you say this now is because for some reason you thought that you were gonna continue to run and you could just pardon him later or just like try and force to get an easier sentence, or Kamala could do it. But now that Trump is gonna come in, you're gonna be like, oh, he's gonna come after my son. I'm like, you see your own people after your son, and to just try to prove a point that no one's above the law, that you're morally superior when you're really not. Like, come on now.
That is why it is that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls. He's wrong.
Nobody
he lied.
criticized Donald Trump more than me or Charlamagne.
I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more. But you're missing my question.
Okay.
My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing?
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes... But when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
That's why I'm an independent.
Yes, but
hearing someone on The View saying I'm an independent when we all know those people are Democrats, even the people that's supposed to be a conservative, we all know y'all Democrat. We all know y'all voting for daggone Kamala because y'all want to keep y'all jobs. Y'all know you can't say that because y'all already losing viewers. Y'all don't want to lose any more. And then y'all realize, oh snap, us making these lives while we're losing viewers because no one want to watch it because they think, oh, we're owned by the Democratic Party. Oh, we're so partisan. And I'm like, it's too late now. It's too late now. Like at this point, it's too late now. Go ahead and say you're an independent or go ahead and say you're a conservative. We're not going to believe you. We're going to stop watching. But I still agree with some of the stuff that Leonard was saying. Like, we can't treat these daggone parties like we're daggone religions, or we can't treat them like daggone football teams or like our favorite sports team, because a lot of the time when they say something wrong, we will defend it or you'll do that whataboutism. Oh, yo, Trump did this. Oh, what about this about Biden? Why can't we just say, yeah, he did that. It was wrong. I disagree with it. He should have done this. For both sides, I don't understand why we can't do that. Because, I don't know. I really don't know. But that's all I got for y'all now. Like, share, subscribe if you made it this far. And, hey, yo, I'm out.
And we're out of here like a screaming herd of turtles.